The Bears Stadium saga continues, and is Arlington Heights back in the lead? Remember this surrendering from a couple of years ago. I'm Harrison Graham. Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. We're going to dive into that coming up here in just a few moments. But first, I'm trying to get to 10,000 Instagram followers as soon as possible. I'm at like 7,300 or so. I would really appreciate it if you gave me a follow over there. We're posting daily Bears content over there, some just standard posts, some Instagram reels. The DMs are open if you want to talk Bears, football, NFL football, or anything else. Again, my goal is 10,000 followers ASAP. I would appreciate it if you follow me at HGramNFL. That would be awesome. With that being said, let's talk some Bear Stadium news. We are presented by Roan here on today's episode, rocking one of the Commuter Collection golf polos here. You should do the same. It is hot as hell these days. RHONE.com/chatsports. Code chatsports gets you 20% off. All right, after the stadium talk, let's talk a little Ryan Poles talking Caleb Williams. He did an interview with Cynthia Freeland of NFL Network. We're going to dive into that as well. But let's get you caught up on the latest around the Bears Stadium situation. Arlington Heights has proposed a settlement to prior tax issues with that property in Arlington Park. So essentially, it sounds like they've reached out to the Bears, and the Bears have responded to that. And Arlington Heights is pretty confident that they can make those prior tax issues at least lessen up to what the prior proposals were. A lot of hoops to jump through in Chicago with the city proposal. We'll dive into that in a little bit as well. And the Arlington Heights mayor, like I mentioned, he's confident that the Bears will ultimately choose to go out to the suburbs. Here is Tom Hayes, the Arlington Heights mayor, who recently announced he will not seek a fourth term. He said this: "We've worked very hard to come to an agreement with the school districts that I think the Bears can be comfortable with, and that's been communicated to the Bears, and that's what we're discussing now. So I feel very comfortable that should the Bears re-engage with us and continue to explore that Arlington Park site, that the road is going to be much easier than we found in past months." Hayes also added, I'll just verbally mention this, that with him not seeking re-election, he does think within the next 10 months, which would be the end of his term, that the Bears will make a decision. He believes it'll be to Arlington Heights. And remember, as much as Kevin Warren wants to be in Chicago, and I do think he wants that. He lives there. He has a lot of passion for the city and getting sports business ramping back up in the city. He's talked about that again and at length, and how much building a new stadium there would mean for the economic development for the city of Chicago on the lakefront. Illinois legislators have completely shut down the Bears' financial proposals in May, and what has Kevin Warren said repeatedly? Like, he wants this done in a timely and financially savvy manner. And look, for me, you guys know my stance on the stadium stuff. When there's big updates, I'll talk about it. I don't have a strong opinion. I think there's pros and cons to both. I think the sentimental aspect of staying in the city is obviously cool on the lakefront. But going out to the suburbs has its advantages as well. The Bears can fully own the stadium. They have 300 plus acres on that former horse track property. Like, I certainly see both sides of it. I just want it done. But again, it's my job when there are updates and news around this stuff to talk about it. And I guess where I'm at now is I'd guess Arlington Heights is probably more likely because, again, as much as Warren wants to be in Chicago, it's his responsibility to do this in a quick and timely manner as long as it makes sense. Like, don't rush it, but it can't drag out 3-4 more years before you're even deciding where you're going to go. So the reality is to do this in a cost-efficient manner and to do it in more of a timely manner, that's probably going to be Arlington Heights over the city of Chicago. With the political aspects they're going to have to jump through to get the Chicago project off the ground, I mean, that feels like it's multiple years away at this point in time. Would love to be wrong, but that's how it feels like. So I would guess the suburbs, but again, this pendulum has swung back and forth a lot over the last 18 months, so who the hell knows where this thing ends up. And be honest with me, because if you can't tell, it's not that I don't care at all, but like, it's just kind of an exhausting topic. How much do you care about the stadium stuff? Scale of 0 to 10. I'm probably at about a 3.5. I don't not care, but I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm living and breathing this thing on a day-to-day basis, wondering where this is going to end up. So scale of 0 to 10, 10 being you incredibly care, and 0 being you don't care at all. All right, let's get to more stuff I'm interested in, and that's the football matters of this franchise. Ryan Poles, who's done a great job since taking over as this team's general manager, he talked about Caleb Williams with Cynthia Freeland. We will dive into that in a second, but first we do have to talk about our sponsor. That is Roan. Shout out to Roan for sponsoring today's episode of Chicago Bears Now. And listen, the men's closet was due for a radical reinvention, and Roan stepped up to the challenge with their Commuter Collection, which is the most comfortable, breathable, and flexible set of clothing products known to mankind. You need to go play a round of golf, casual. They got polos. They got shorts. You need to go to a business professional meeting. You can get suited up with Roan as well. They got blazers, button-down shirts, nice slack pants as well. And listen, a lot of clothing companies for many years have had people looking good, but have you felt comfortable while looking good? A lot of dress shirts I used to wear, very stiff, not comfortable. You're sweating all the time because it doesn't fit you well. Roan, the 4-way stretch fabric is fantastic, and it's machine washable. That's what I like. Not only are you going to save money with 20% off with code ChatSports at roan.com/chatsports, but you're going to save money long term because you don't have to go to the dry cleaners anymore. Throw these clothing items in your washing machine, air dry them, boom, you are good to go. So take advantage today. roan.com/chatsports, code ChatSports. Gonna get you 20% off. That's RHONE.com/chatsports. All right, here's polls on his quarterback, Caleb Williams. I could tell you in practice we're seeing those things, special traits, because that's what he was asked about, already happened. Those special pieces are showing up. His manipulation of the pocket is huge. It's one of the rare traits that he has to keep his eyes downfield, throw off platform to the right or left with accuracy. It is a special trait that we've seen in practice already. It's a beautiful thing. It's something we talked about leading up to the draft is like his feel, understanding where the pressure's coming from opposing defenses is uniquely special. Blindside feel, front side, ability to avoid defenders and either bolt from the pocket or manipulate the pocket. Like, that's a rare trait that he brings to the NFL immediately. Like, that translates right away. We know, like, the talent, the volume of stats, all that stuff that he did at Oklahoma and USC. Like, this, throwing for 93 touchdowns in college, that's not necessarily like a translatable skill. Like, obviously it means he was productive and played well, but like the intricacies of playing the position, like feeling the pocket, knowing when to leave, understanding to throw with anticipation, manipulating the defense with your eyes, having the physical tools to throw on the run both ways. Like, that is the stuff that is translatable. So I think he's got a really, really, really good chance to be highly successful because he has the physical tools, but he also has the brain manipulation to make it all mesh together. And that's the job of Shane Waldron and the staff, along with Caleb, to come together and play to his strengths and maximize his ability because he has everything you need to be a great NFL quarterback for a decade plus. So I fully believe he's going to be a very good player in this league. If he's great, that means that the Bears did a good job and he did a good job as well of meshing all these things together, understanding it's a process and building it day by day by day, rep by rep by rep. And it seems like so far so good. Everyone around the Bears that's talking, players, coaches, now the GM, they like where he's at, and that feels very promising coming into a critical 2024 season. Be honest, do you think he's going to be great? Do you think Caleb will be great? Not good, not like, yeah, this guy's a solid top 12, top 15 quarterback. Like, no, year in, year out, he's one of the 5 or 6 best once he kind of starts to hit his prime. Like, I don't think top 5 as a rookie is like a fair expectation, but once he gets there, is he going to be there for a while? I think he's got a chance to. Type Y for yes or type N for no. Now, speaking of Caleb and Rome Odunze, should we be worried? I've gotten some DMs about this. People have been asking. Neither Caleb Williams or Rome Odunze have signed their rookie contracts yet, and the Bears rookies report in exactly 2 weeks. 14 days from now, July 16th, they report to training camp. And, you'd like this to be handled. I would say this. Am I worried yet? No, I'm not worried yet because they aren't the only 2 rookies that haven't signed first-round picks. Is it something I'm monitoring? Yeah, I am. I mean, we are getting closer. I thought this would be handled by now, and it's not. So until it is, it's something to be monitoring. And obviously, if you get to July 10th, July 12th, at that point, you start to at least be a little concerned. These 5 players have not signed their rookie deals yet. Caleb and Rome for the Bears, J.J. McCarthy for the Vikings, Dallas Turner for the Vikings, so weirdly enough, 4 of the 5 are in the NFC North. And then Amarius Mims, the offensive tackle with the Cincinnati Bengals. All 27 other first-rounders have signed, which, again, I think this stuff gets blown out of proportion. These slots are these are kind of slotted money. It just comes down to how much the signing bonuses are, which players want as much up front as possible. I just want this to not be a story in camp. Like, you already got Hard Knocks that's going to be in your building. You already got a lot of attention on you over the last several months. Let's not add an unnecessary story around this team and around this quarterback in particular if you don't have to. So get this done in the next 2 weeks, and let's focus on the football once training camp gets here. All right, that's going to do it for today's episode of Chicago Bears Now. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Go check out Roan. Link is in the comments and in the description. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you next time.